Pat Dorsey is the founder of Dorsey Asset Management. His portfolio is currently valued at something close to $700 million. Dorsey is also the author of two books, The 5 Rules for Successful Stock Investing and The Little Book That Builds Wealth. So in this video, we are going to take a look at his portfolio. We'll explore the history of his investments in every stock he owns, and we'll also cover the recent changes to his portfolio. Hopefully, we can get some ideas, some information, and most importantly, some insight into his way of investing and finding value in stocks. So first, let's see what companies he owns. Smartsheet, Wix, Meta Platforms, Roku, Disney, PayPal, Alphabet, Semrush Holdings, Upwork. And before we will analyze every one of those investments, let's take a look at the company he sold last quarter, Poshmark. It is a social commerce marketplace where users can buy and sell new and second-hand fashion, home goods, and electronics. The platform has over 80 million users. Dorsey bought this stock in Q4 2021, not long after the IPO of the company. And last quarter, he sold all of his shares, probably for around the same price that he bought them. And the reason for selling was that a South Korean internet company, Naver Corporation, agreed to buy Poshmark for a total enterprise value of $1.2 billion. So that was not a great investment, but his losses were probably quite small. Okay, so let's go through his current investments, starting with the smallest one. Upwork makes just over 4% of his portfolio, and he recently added 0.7% to this investment. Upwork is a freelancing platform. It allows clients to interview, hire, and work with freelancers and freelance agencies through the company platform. Dorsey bought his first shares of Upwork in Q2 2020 for around $17. He sold a lot of shares when they got to around $35. And recently, when the price got down to somewhere close to $20, he's buying some more shares. So he got his money back at the beginning of 2021, and now he's probably planning to repeat this result. His second smallest investment is Semrush Holdings, which makes up 4.2% of his portfolio. In the last quarter, he added almost 2.8% to this investment. Semrush Holdings is an American public company that offers software as a service platform known as Semrush. The platform is often used for keyword research and online ranking data. Dorsey bought his first shares soon after the IPO of the company in Q3 2021. Since then, the price has fallen from around $23 to $8. And Dorsey is slowly adding to this position every quarter. So he clearly believes that this investment is going to work in the long term. Next up is Alphabet, that makes up almost 7.4% of the portfolio. And he added to this position another 0.7%. He bought Alphabet shares in Q1 2017 for around $41. He was slowly adding to this position till Q4 2019, when he sold over 70% of his shares, and just next quarter he added 350% for around $8 less on every share. So not a bad deal. He sold again in Q1 and Q2 2021 when the price was somewhere around $100 to $125. So basically, he got his money back and he still had 500,000 shares of Google. And from that moment, he did not make any really meaningful changes. His fourth smallest investment is PayPal, which makes up 7.7% of his portfolio. And in the last quarter, he added 0.7% to this position. He bought PayPal in Q2 2018 for around $83. And this investment is a little bit different to the others we analyze. He sold some shares through the years, making a little bit of money on this investment, but then in Q1 2021, he added over 80% at a price of around $240. And since then, even though the price was going up, he continued to add. And a year later, when the price was closer to $100, he added another 30%, which of course got his average price substantially down. But still, it seems he overpaid for this company, at least in the short to medium term. But he clearly believes that PayPal is going to do great in the future. Next up is Walt Disney Corporation, which makes up 9.4% of his portfolio. Also to this position, he added around 0.7%. He bought his first shares in Q2 2021, and since then the price went substantially down. But he is keeping this investment without any major changes. And he has to have a pretty big conviction in this company because the price is almost half of what he paid, and still it makes almost 9.4% of his portfolio. So it was a big investment. His fourth biggest investment is Roku, which makes up 9.9% of the portfolio. And he added almost 18% to this investment in the last quarter. Roku is a company that manufactures a variety of digital media players for video streaming. Roku has an advertising business and also licenses its hardware and software to other companies. This is a very interesting story. He bought his first shares in Q4 2019 for around $133 per share, and he sold it all through the months, probably getting something like 2x on his money. And in Q1 2022, the price got back to around $125, and then he invested in a big way. And last quarter, when the price got to around $40, he added some more. So he made some decent money on this company, and now he wants to repeat that, but on a much bigger scale. The third biggest investment for Dorsey is Meta Platforms, which makes up 17.3% of the portfolio. And it is the biggest buy for Dorsey in the last quarter at almost 31%. Unfortunately, we don't know when Dorsey bought his first shares because we have data only from Q4 2016. But in this case, it is a very clear story. Every time the stock goes down, he buys some more, and the recent buy is the biggest of them all. So it seems that Dorsey really believes that the current price for Meta is a great bargain. His second biggest position is Wix, which makes up 17.9% of the portfolio. And this is the only reduction in his portfolio last quarter. He sold 14.7% of this investment. He bought his first shares at the end of 2018, and by selling some of them in Q2 2019 and Q2 2020, he probably got his money back. But then he started to make some really strange moves. He bought substantially more shares when they were extremely expensive. And he continued to buy them when the price went down, which may be a reasonable move if you believe in this company. But then, last quarter, he sold a substantial part of this investment for a very low price. Why he did that is really hard to tell. Did he lose his conviction in weeks, or maybe he just needed money to buy Roku and Meta? I think we will know a bit more in about 3 months when we get data from the current quarter. We will see, was it a one-time move triggered by other opportunities, or is he just selling it all together? And now we get to his biggest position in the portfolio. Smartsheet, which makes up over 22% of this portfolio. And in the last quarter, he added another 11.7% to this investment. Smartsheet Incorporated is an American company that develops and markets the Smartsheet application, which is used to assign tasks, track project progress, manage calendars, share documents, and manage other work. Dorsey bought his first shares in Q2 2020 for around $50. And with some fluctuations, he is basically adding to this position almost every quarter. So he probably didn't make a lot of money on this investment, if any, but it is his biggest position for a reason. It seems that he believes that this company will do great things in the future, and he wants to be a substantial part of it. So one of the most interesting things that I noticed is that he often sells when he doubles his money, but he sells around half of the investment. That way, he gets his money back and still has a decent amount of shares of any given company. That is a strategy that is probably worth thinking about when structuring our own portfolios. And the other thing is that around 80% of his portfolio is in technology. It seems really aggressive, but maybe the fact that the companies are in different stages of maturity makes this portfolio a little less unpredictable.